Hello everyone and welcome to July. I'm here to bring you your July general readings. I hope you're all having a great summer, and for those of you in the southern hemisphere, a great winter. We just rounded the solstice here, so we're going to bring it in through July. First off, I'm conducting a little bit of a giveaway. I love your guys' comments so much, and I want to keep encouraging the comments to stay alive and to stay inspired as we build this little YouTube channel and the community begins to grow. The number of views was down, which I'm actually quite happy for. That means a lot of people are actually out getting after it and out getting her done. So that's really good to see. But for those of you that are watching, your moon, your sun, and your ascendant signs, leave comments, inspired comments, and I may pick you to receive this Tarot of the Elves Tarot just kind of at random. I want you guys to know that I read all of your comments and I try to respond to as many of them as I can. So as well, check the description box down below. There's some new ways to get in touch with me. I'm on Instabook and Facegram and Patreon now, so feel free to get in touch with me if you would like. Please remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you enjoy your readings. Hello Libra, welcome back to this little YouTube channel at this moment in space and time. I hope you're all doing well out there. I know the last reading was pretty tough. You guys are going through a lot, so it's just my intention and my wishes that you guys are doing a lot better and we're progressing out of whatever circumstances may have been holding us back. So Libra, yes, this is your July 2017 general reading. Thanks again for being here. I wish you all the best in abundance and success, joy, all of the good things in life. We're just getting tarot ready here to ask what are the messages for Libra for July 2017. Messages for Libra, July 2017. Tarot, this is hidden messages. What's up for your flippers and poppers this month? I got a microphone, Libra, so leave a comment if you feel the sound quality has increased or decreased over the last little bit. We've got the Moon, we've got the Four of Wands, and we've got Justice here. All right, so some of you are maybe pretty unclear of, when you're sort of in the clear, as so to speak, from certain situations that could be circling around your own personal level of happiness at this time. There may be still certain things here that leave you feeling a little bit jaded, I'm going to say, and disillusioned at the fact that, things that you once thought were harmonious and prosperous may have turned out to only be sort of like halfway fulfilling, so to speak. This is kind of a pessimism versus optimism situation, seeing the glass at half, whichever way you decide to see it, all right? Now, we can't always influence and control that which is around us, but we try to balance and manage the energies that are there so that we're not driven too far, like sort of out of balance one way or the other. You have to apply it to your situations. Four of Wands here, signifying that it could be around like certain get-togethers, whether it be family reunions, weddings, things of that nature. The Four of Wands for a lot of you could point to directions. Maybe you're just going to be interacting with somebody that you really don't want to talk to, but you may be forced to like kind of save face or speak with them, or they may be having to save face when speaking with you, and it could be one of those situations where you haven't spoke with them in a long time. Okay, Libra, we are looking for healing, hidden energies, and stuck energies that we can get them cleared up for you. Let's get some cards out and get into your reading. If I can get the cards up off the table. Sorry for my dirty hands. I had to go out and rotate my tires this morning, and now we're kind of getting into it. I've had a little bit of coffee. Gets the intuition going. All right. Please set your intention, Libra. The overall card at the bottom of your deck. In this, oh, wow. You got the Hierophant here in your overall energy. So this Four of Wands that popped out earlier for some of you now is going to be directly related to a marriage. Some of you could find yourself sort of in the zone where it's like picking a wedding date or talking about wedding plans, either for yourself or someone that is very close to you. And that's very good. And watch the balance of power here. There could be some family stuff integrated into this too. There could be like the bride wants things a certain way, but like nobody else wants it that way, and they all forget that it's like her day kind of thing. or potentially like the groom may have wanted to have plans maybe to like elope or keep things on the DL, on the quiet, away from, you know, family and friends, and like maybe somebody else is not seeing it that way. They want to make a big to-do out of it. Okay, so that is on the mundane level, because marriages are big, like life-changing, major life chapters. And the Hierophant usually comes when there's something like that where it's like, wow, you're entering into something where it's like the vows are going to be exchanged. And maybe for some of you, the singles, this card can also mean you maybe find yourself vowing to yourself certain things. Like it's almost like mid-year resolutions. Everyone has these New Year's resolutions, but interestingly enough, like mid-year hits, the height of summer, sometimes you get fed up with certain energies, or you may have lost faith in something, and you're just going to say, well, I vow never to go down that road again. Or I vow to myself that I'm going to be true, or like, if I've actually quit smoking, I'm going to actually not just say that I have, but actually like not cheat at it, kind of thing. It could be a various number of things when the Hierophant is here. For some of you, this could be like already thinking about vocations, what you're going to do when the next semester of school hits. For younger viewers and those that are going back to school, there could be some more education in the near future, and I'm talking like leading into September. Some planning is already going into that sort of thing. We're going to leave Hierophant up there in the overall energy. I kind of touched on it at very mundane levels. It's tough to kind of get any more esoteric when that card stands alone on its own, because that card needs supporting cards a lot of the time to kind of find out what is at the root, what is at the heart. But luckily we've got those, and we're going to go through them. All right, beginning with the root chakra. Wow. Number 1, the Magician up, Libra. Okay, so a lot of you have come into a point of recognition of that nobody's going to improve your situation. Nothing is going to help you out more than you, yourself, and I. Number 1, the Magician, right? And when we see this in the root chakra, it almost means, it lets me know that you guys are doing this in your everyday moments. Like from the moment you step out of bed, maybe some of you now are like engaging in like some serious stretching to feel more supple. And then you're taking care of your physical body by saying, all right, maybe I'm like not going to go for such a big heavy breakfast. I'm just going to eat light, and I'm going to like maybe kind of lighten up the load around you. It's almost like some of you may find yourselves like cleaning out your closets with this card, getting rid of things that don't help you, and freeing up some resources for maybe those little tools or those things that you've kind of been needing for a little while, and you've been maybe putting off like purchasing them or putting them in your item inventory because just due to the fact, well, it's like almost like a commitment. Well, if I buy this, that means I have to get serious about project XYZ. And it's kind of like that purchase, or like that particular tool, when you bring it into your world and you ground it, it kind of gives you initiative. It kind of gives you drive to make it happen, so that it's no longer just sort of like in the thought process or in the idea stage. It makes it seem more real. So some of you may find yourself actually buying material, whatever it might be. For some of you, it's probably canvas, or, you know, it could be a sewing machine. It could be like anything, right? It could be like a nice set of like needle nose pliers, and some of you may be like going fly fishing or whatever it might be. The Magician just indicates to me that you're grounding things in your environment so that you are going to start doing things for yourself a lot more often, okay? And realizing that this happiness goal, or this bliss, this knowingness that like the center is really with you and around you. Be very aware of your chi at this time, Libra. Almost some Tai Chi in the morning. It would be significant for a lot of you, kind of seeing like ultimately there is a life that you're living, but you're ruling the area directly in front of you all the time. You're managing it, you're manifesting in it. It's your energy to call your own. So Magician is such an excellent energy to see up and grounding. I just want, like, that's a big congrats, a pat on your back. You guys, when you guys are faced with problems, it seems to me like the recognition is like the lightning bolt of like motivation that's needed. As soon as you recognize it, you're motivated and you're on it. You're like getting it done, you're putting in the work, and you're taking care of it. A Magician lets me know that. Okay. Up in the sacral area, so our creativity center, problem solving, and our sexual desire, we have the Four of Cups reversed here. Okay, Libra, so it shows that we're kind of maybe getting over some things in regards to how we felt about the past. The Four of Cups to me holds a large it's almost like the Six of Cups in terms of like its nostalgic value, because the Three of the Four Cups, they appear to already be in the past. Whether the card is reversed or upright, that is kind of the story. And there's only one quarter. One quarter of it remains sort of fresh and new. So you kind of have to use, if we want to talk about numbers and numerology here, if we want to get into like that sort of range, like when you're evaluating how much feeling you're putting into something, it's almost like 75% or 3/4 is kind of like that threshold or that trigger point where you're like willing to pull the pin on certain projects if you feel like your fulfillment level isn't like 100% or isn't like at least closer to 100%. Some of you may feel like certain things that you've been doing lately have been a waste of time, and it's just like time is passing. Some of you may feel a little bit of guilt for not making the most of your time. You may go out, maybe enjoy a nice sunny day with friends and stuff, but as soon as that moment's passed, it's like we have to make sure that our responsibilities are there and that they're being sort of taken care of when we see this Four of Cups reversed. All right. Boredom is an issue, but like in terms of solving the boredom, you know, there's the two birds with one stone possibility, that you could actually have the potential to not be bored and yet at the same time like not waste your time. Because I feel like for some of you that might have been a little bit of a catch-22 that you're sort of like maybe getting over, like this view of like, okay, how am I like promoting my own success, my own life? But then there's this very social, emotional side of you that is just like all it wants to do is like be around good friends, be out there, like being seen and enjoying like meeting new people. And it feels like there might be a little bit of crossroads here to see this in your sacral energy, right? It's almost like some of you are kind of like always looking in hindsight of like how you could have done something better. But it's like the reminder here is to like very much like keep it in the now, right? So we've got Queen of Pentacles clarifier here for Four of Cups. So this card here goes back to our resources. It goes back to sort of doing things for yourself again. Some of you may find that you may just be a little bit more withdrawn from social circles at this time, just due to the fact that you're wanting to get into some self-improvement. Have faith that your friends are going to be there, even if you decide to dip for a weekend or two, or like, you know, just like, you know, if the text messaging kind of like needs to slow down or stops, don't feel guilty, don't be ashamed, and have faith that, you know, the people around you are going to be there. And if they do get upset with you for, you know, needing to go and do your own thing for some self-improvement and maybe not be wasting your resources and your time by being as social as you want to be, then do they really have you in your best interest as a friend to begin with, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is saying here, like, I see this card as internally now more so of you, Libra, because it's come up in a clarifier. We see the Queen of Pentacles like really kind of at the point where she's ready to master her resources, what she has, the comfort, the security, the level of you know, material accumulation that allows her to both progress and feel secure in this world. So when this comes to you, Libra, it's almost showing that this side of the scale is heavier. This self-improvement, this you know, accumulation of maybe cash and resources, more coming in and less going out, so to speak, will be at the forefront of kind of your behavior patterns and your choices that you would be making. Okay, so let's move on up in the solar plexus chakra into our intuition, our gut instinct. We have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so some of you continue on with the money situation that kind of followed up from last month's reading. I had trouble letting go of that reading, Libra, just because like for some of you it felt like the cash situation was so dire, and it's like some of you were desperately kind of like looking for work and finding work. The Eight of Pentacles here is saying like, be willing to remain open to what life's opportunities or offers are. It's almost like this card is kind of like asking you to act in the moment. Like if you're feeling like pretty bummed out, or like that you can't get a job, or like you just are feeling a little bit more isolated because of, you know, what you perceive to be a past that was invested in something that was all wrong. now, like, these cards are really asking for Libra to live in the moment with Eight of Pentacles reversed here. And this is kind of like chin up. Keep your eyes open and keep your chin up. And this means, like, maybe for some of you, you're passing like a help wanted sign, like just on like a morning walk, where it's like you'll get that inspiration to be like, oh, what the hell? I'll go home, have a quick shower, grab a resume off the counter, and head back in. You know, there's no knowing what could happen, right? Even if you feel it might be a little bit beneath you, hey, there's nothing stopping you from getting in between you and your sort of innate desire to get ahead in life, to make it happen for yourself, right? I just want to make sure that there's no inaction sort of this time in the sign of Libra, because these cards are saying like stuff is going to be coming in, but if you're kind of looking at your shoelaces, Libra, as we move through July, some of it could be, you could miss out on some stuff, and it could like seem like a detour to you, or something that's like not normally within your wheelhouse or your sort of regular kind of mindset, but it's asking you almost to go into that for a lot of you when it comes to sort of work and money and progression, when it comes to sort of getting out of any kind of financial hole, okay? Eight of Pentacles reverse. It's just saying, if you haven't been working, let's find a way. Let's get innovative. Let's take initiative, and this is a time of action, okay? And in your heart, Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness. So somebody here is like feeling like they've been tricked, or maybe lied to in some instance or some circumstance, and it's affecting you directly in your heart. And that's troublesome to see this card up in this position in your heart chakra, Libra. I think there's some good things going on here as we move up through the root chakra, and into like the bottom three. Now that we see this card here in your heart, this could mean that you may be experiencing tumultuous energy around you, because whatever your mind is processing to be true may not be true at this time. Be very careful to discern everything that comes into your environment in these next couple of weeks, Libra. This card is a real call to like fact checking, right? Gotta get the Google machine out. Like, is what this person telling me legit, or is somebody just selling me a load of crap, right? Maybe somebody's making all kinds of promises in regards to like, could be like for some people like a pyramid scheme, or like some sort of like promise of a big payout, but first you have to do all this kind of work for free, and you're like, oh my goodness, like that seems like a long time before I'm going to get a payout on that. And then it's like, it turns out just to be something that was like some kind of trick or scam. Be very careful of that sort of thing, and be very careful of the temptation to like be rewarded to get money for something that like tricks somebody else, right, out of something. I don't know, that's just what I'm getting. Ace of Swords is kind of like always a call to like sort of mind your step around like spoken word, and around, you know, things that like, too good to be true. And my grandma used to say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? And it's kind of like, that's where that discernment, it doesn't mean you have to like completely write it off, but I want to be careful of Libra jumping into things with both feet before they have all the facts, because this is showing up into your heart. You guys are searching for improvement. You guys are searching for progression. And to have this card up in your heart chakra is just saying there's not going to be an easy way out. There's like, you can't like almost like get out of jail free card, that express ticket. Like, this is going to be some coming from like your own innovation, your own hard work. Now we've got the Chariot here. So watch again for people kind of like, what do they call it? The midnight hoax, or the, oh, I forget the name of it. The overnight scam, where it's like you go back to the office the next day and everything is like moved out and gone, right? I forget what they call those guys, but they're shysters, and I wish they weren't around. But at the same time, it's always kind of like when you're searching for opportunity, there are the deceivers that will come and promise you opportunity, but you've got to remain sharp. You've got to remain kind of quick moving in your thinking, in your discernment, to like call it for what it is. Ask the hard questions, move through it, do your own research, and make the most of your time. The Chariot is always about like efficient scheduling. Because the energy, when it picks up fast, we as individual sentient beings, what we do with the time, right, is kind of like we start putting it in its place, and we start prioritizing things as high priority, low priority. And this is kind of a call to that. It's kind of like leaving no stone unturned, but yet also making sure that whatever you're working through, you're doing it rather efficiently and rather quickly, okay? So that's what's up in the heart. It's kind of interesting. The Chariot came up in the heart area for one of the other signs, and it was kind of murky for me to see into it. I think it might have been Virgo, the sign I just read for, had this as well. And there was something like going on where like I felt like I could have saw deeper, but it was still just kind of like smoky and cloudy or something like that. So the Chariot in your heart as well, be ready to sort of be upwardly mobile. It's almost like kind of asking you to make sure that whatever you're getting into, you're doing it with sort of a light yoke, they call it. It's kind of like you could pick up and like be gone in a moment's notice, that kind of thing, if called for, if needed to be. Like sort of if you needed to Houdini, you could sort of be out of there and you wouldn't have like any strings attached kind of thing, all right? I don't know what that means for a lot of you. Please comment down below as to what that could be. Like, even after 20 years of reading tarot, I'm still a student, and I don't profess or proclaim to be perfect and tell you exactly what's going to happen to everybody. We just have to intuit as best we can, all right? And I want to thank you for being on the receiving end, because without you guys, you know, the half I do doesn't make any sense at all a lot of the times, okay? All right, now up in communication, we have Major Arcana, 21 the World. Good for you guys. This means hardcore conversations that are giving you completion, giving you conviction, and giving you closure on the stuff that could have left you feeling down. The World is such a positive card to have. And the fact it's showing up in your communication, it just means it's like you guys are going to be having, like, speaking and you know, experiencing some certain completions that, like, there's no question left in your mind that it is now over, that it has moved on, or that it is now 100% assured that it is part of your past and that you don't need to go back there anymore. And again, the World always kind of asks you, well, what is on the horizon? We need to be listening, like I mentioned with this, what was up in the heart, we need to be listening, and we almost kind of be needing to look at our environment with a little bit of foresight or foreshadowing, like the literary technique they use to like give you a little hint at the start of the story about you know, something that's going to happen in the future. And like intuitive readers pick up on the foreshadowing before the main event actually occurs, right? Or whatever was precursed to actually occurs. So with this World, you have to kind of check for things on the horizon. You kind of know when you go within with this magician card that, you know, it's like you know where you want to be. You're accumulating and grounding the tools in to make it happen, what you want to have happen. And then you kind of can look to the future and say, okay, well, I feel okay with that. I feel fine with that. And if I need to go out and ask people for any kind of like assistance or any kind of like momentary advice, that sort of thing, the World is very good in that sense as well. Because sometimes when we get into funks, Libra, we kind of forget things that are outside of our immediate environment. We talked about with the chi, with what's in front of us. Now the World is saying the macrocosm here. If you know, back in the day when they used to have yellow pages when everything was on the telephone, you could flip through there just, you know, and find something and find resources of things that existed that you may not have had any idea existed before, and they're actually a part of our world. But maybe we've never needed that before. Maybe there was no call to even look that way before because everything was peaches and cream and fine and dandy, you know, leading up to that point. Then adversity or crisis occurs, and it's saying, all right, well, the exploration of the outside world and the fact that there are all these different dynamics and facets of life, commerce, business that, you know, we don't always like need them, but check into them. Sometimes after 10, 5, 15 years, we don't realize how much that particular industry has shifted or grown, and now maybe in a position that we can incorporate it in to go and help us. I saw shopping earlier as well for some of this. Some of you may be just investing in yourself so that, you know, there is that potential to grow more. All right. Wow. And look at it, guys. Third eye. We want what we want, right? And we may have to be patient for it. This card is showing up in the pineal gland, the third eye. So some of you definitely are still in that balance of like, okay, I'm going to work for a living, but I'm going to also moonlight or do a double job as my own CEO, my own boss, right? I have the tools necessary. These cards are great when they show up together. This means that you have the opportunity within you to, I don't know, like this has like invention type energy written over it, or like filling a niche of a service or something that nobody is doing in your area where you're like, wow, I could make out like a bandit, like even though hopefully you're all doing it very honestly, right? Because we don't want to have that Ace of Swords reversed up in our heart, right? Whatever our idea is, as long as it's ethical and you guys can make a go of it. Yeah, you might have to still do the 9 to 5 thing, but intuitively you may know it doesn't last forever as long as you're willing to put in the extra hours, the extra work. I can kind of relate to this. I don't have much Libra in my chart. I think I have one of the outer planets. I can't remember. But what happens here is kind of like, sorry, I was just like had to turn off the intuitive to relate a story for a minute, and that really fries my brain sometimes. But for me personally, like I do a hardcore 9 to 5. Like I like go out, I dig ditches, I like run big machinery, and like I have to listen to like the construction foreman be like rah, 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 and I'm beat at the I'm like completely gassed at the end of the 9 to 5. But yet I'll still come in. I still really enjoy these tarots because, you guys will kind of view, like, and subscribe, and I make an extra $15 to $20 at the end of it all, right? That kind of thing. I do like to give back as well. That's my main motivation for doing it. But I also work hard because there is some, like, reward in it too. Even if, like, right now it's very minute, I'm very happy to do it because in this type of environment, nobody can tell me what to do. Nobody tells me how to exist. I get to do it on my own. I get to do it my way because that's just sort of how it presented itself, or this opportunity of being able to give back presented itself. So Libra, hopefully that sort of situation you could find in that, okay? And sorry to get out of the intuitive mode. I just needed to relay that little story to you, just kind of to let you know, like, when I had this up before, like for me personally, it was like no-brainer, right? So here we go. In from source. Let's check out what's coming in. Wow, 6 of Cups straight up now. So maybe we were on to something here intuitively when we were kind of like saying there could be a little bit too much hindsight going on. And we saw this down in the Sacral. So it was kind of like it was directly tied to like how you were feeling and how you were sort of like deciding to do or not to do, or to don't, as they say, right? Because there could have been too much hindsight going on. You guys could be eliminating a lot of past conditioning or preconceived notions, and some of it could have been straight up lies that were told to you in the past, so that it's kind of you've made certain decisions in your way, and you're like, well, fortune didn't fall on me because was it because of the decisions I made, or was it because I wasn't enlightened enough, or I didn't have enough foresight or intuition to see past my current day or my current month, or the current fact that I had to make these social appearances, right? That sort of thing. Whatever it is, this Hierophant with this 6 of Cups is saying some of you will be letting go to certain ideas, certain notions, and certain things that have held you back, that were probably like, you were made to feel that way either through a thought, a belief, or a faith in something that could have ultimately been further away from your higher self, or from where the angels and the spirits guides wanted you to be. And I am not accusing you of anything. Life is unfair, Libra. Life gets confusing sometimes, and don't we all know it? Aren't we all in it together, right? I'm really glad to see that these cards have improved. It looks like we have a lot of work to do, but some of it is a simple paradigm shift by not looking in things with hindsight so much. And the other part of it is like, okay, there is a call I feel for a certain few Libras, like to keep it ethical, to keep a fair playing field for something or other. But like the Magician, the World, Ace of Pentacles, right? With the Hierophant. Like those cards, like they don't come any sweeter, you know, sweeter than candy right now. But we have to make it work for us, right? We have to make it go of it, right? All right. Let's just ask for one Wisdom of the Oracle card for a capstone. Libra, I'm really happy there were some positive cards. This Ace of Swords reversed in the heart still kind of worries me, that those kinds of things. So let's try and use some foresight. Let's kind of like keep the rear view in the rear view this month. Well, it goes with the theme. Almost every sign has been getting 2 cards, and it's okay. I don't mind. I've been reading for the Oracle cards this month, so hopefully I don't mess up the words too much. But all right, you guys have number 8, the Tribe, and number 34, a leg up. So we've got 2 sort of mom and dad, or thems or theirs, and a little baby giraffe, and then we've got mama and baby again, right, or daddy and son again, with this sort of stuff. And then look how different they are. Look at the cold Arctic nature of this, and then we've got the hot, dry desert of this, like maybe some Serengeti or something going on, right? And so let's just see what's up with the messages in these cards, because looking at these pictures, some of you, it's easy to say that you could be in a very nurtured or nurturing role this month, which is very nice to see, and there's a lot to be gleaned from that in terms of experience and making good memories, right? Because we have the 6 of Cups up there, spending time with children, you know, getting involved with, you know, certain things that nurture can bring expansion, growth, and insight into. Okay, sorry, I'm going to get busy. I'm going to read now. All right, we got card number 8, so we're going to flip to the early part of the book and see what's up for the Tribe. Community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures. We need to know we are useful to our tribes, families, and communities. In a tribe, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up as large, or have the potential to become its leader. No matter your position in the tribe, your presence is needed, okay? So wow, it kind of counterintuited what I said about that balance of like that social stuff we picked up on. I felt like some Libras would be moving away from it, and maybe there is some conflict there. Maybe there are certain things where it's like, you know, your social time is very meaningful, and it could be like drawing on you from your resources, okay? So maybe all we have to look at here is like maybe right now the tribe could be more supportive of you and your donation, your input, or what you're giving. There's no shame in if it has to be a little less, whether it's time, money, or effort, right? Because the tribe can support you. All right, so let's look at number 34. I have a feeling this is going to be the other side of the coin, because we saw that balance between self-improvement and, you know, being outwardly maybe too social, and that having trouble on our resources. Okay, card 34. Let's find it. Here we go. A leg up. Look at the polar bears. Receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that assistance so is freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles can happen. Now is such a time. Okay? All right, so with the Magician here, and maybe I read it wrong, because what the Oracle cards are saying is that there's help and assistance for you. Maybe I didn't read it wrong. I did see that more so in this World card, where you're going up to maybe take a little bit of assistance or find some new resources that could help you as well. So that could introduce you to a social circle that is getting you into more self-promotion versus one that is actually taking away from you a little bit too much. And that'll probably, you can apply that to your situation and probably see where those pros and cons do exist. Okay, Libra, as always, it's a pleasure to read your cards. Thank you so much for being on the receiving end. I love you all, and we'll see you next time.